Get everybody around here from Machine Cult talking about sports sedans. So last video touched on the 6 litre capacity limit. So that's the capacity limit for a naturally aspirated car in sports sedans is 6 litres. So if you want to run a turbo on it or a blower, it's 3.5 litres because of the multiplication that they do that brings it up to 6, and that's as high as you can go. So you can't run the barrel motor, for example, unfortunately. Now, my understanding, and I'm not from Motorsport Australia, I'm not, how can I say it, I'm not an official person of sports sedans, i.e. I don't run the class in Victoria, New South Wales or Nationals or anything like that. I do race in the class and I do social media for them and things like that, but my understanding is that Motorsport Australia do not want us to run bigger powered motors. So we can't, they don't want us to go over 6 litres. I think there's insurance, I think there's all kinds of things. It's pretty clear that sports sedans are fast and getting faster. We keep going quicker. Some lap records have fallen. Well, you know, the last couple of years has been COVID, but up until then they were sort of steadily falling down. And at some tracks, we're definitely pushing the limit of the tyres and things like that. So when you get upset that you can't run your turbo barra, understand it's not necessarily the category managers that are saying no, you know, oh, it's not going to happen. Well, we are, because it's 6 litres is limit, but it has been a subject broached to Motorsport Australia in the past, and 6 litres is where it's going to stop. Engine location, I think, is important as well. So there was a point in time where rear mounted motors could run located behind the rear axle. That is not the case. So I think the thing that sort of defines sports sedans as a class is that the motor can be moved back to the center line of the car. So if you measure between the axles, the front and rear axle as a center point, you can bring the rear part of the block to that spot. You know, people complain, oh, why can't I run a Porsche? Why can't I do a VW? Some people wanted to get a Formula car and turn it around or do something with it. I don't know. You can't, all right? Don't be a dick. The engine, that's where you can bring it back to. It makes it super badass. It makes it burn your leg. It's really cool. Well, it's very hot, actually. But that's the situation with engines, all right? So it can't be moved behind that center line. It can't be over 6 litres. And if it's forced induction, it can't be over 3.5 litres. They're the rules. We have a fairly broad sheet of rules in the class. You can do a lot of things to your car that you can't do in any other class. You know, and there has to be a line in the sand somewhere. People have spent a lot of money to get big horsepower out of 6 litre motors. And if we suddenly said you can run 8 litre motors, that's, you know, wiping out hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of development that a lot of the teams have done. And I'm sure if you were in that situation, you'd be pretty pissed off if that happened to you. So that's why. So it's just one of those things. The cars are so goddamn quick now. There are lots of options for motors. So you could always de-stroke a motor that's over that. I think there is a barrel running and they're working on doing that. And I think they're going to get pretty quick. It's a nice solid motor. So, you know, I can't see why it wouldn't work. So yeah, engines, sports sedans, Machine Cult Ren, peace.